Hi, today I would like to talk about the reality happened in a nursing home here in Japan. One of the biggest contradiction I think Japan has been facing now. So what I'm going to talk about is my family's story, my mother's story. So I'm not sure if you have already seen my older video where I explained my family's situation. My mother, she is now 81 years old, and she has been living in a nursing home located a little bit far from my home, my house. So because my big brother, decided to put my mother into a nursing home 5 years ago when she became depressed, when she deeply suffering from depression, mental health. After 5 years after our father died. So for 5 years, she was okay. But after 5 years, suddenly she became sick, mentally sick, and she became depressed. She was depressed, and it was very shocked. And we had to put her into nursing home. And I'm not talking about my mother's story, because today I would like to talk about another story happening on the nursing home my mother is now living. So, like I said, 5 years ago, my brother made a big decision to put my mother into a nursing home. And then he explained, actually the nursing home he selected looked very nice. And then my brother explained to me, the manager of the nursing home looked very nice, very kind, nice guy. And all the staffs working at a nursing home were Japanese people, nice Japanese men and women. All the staffs were Japanese people. It was like 2019, just 1 year before COVID-19. So, and what happened there was that all the Japanese staff quit the job and left the nursing home. And now, currently, all the staffs working there were people from Vietnam, Vietnamese people. So, and first of all, I'm not going to make any complaints against the condition where there are all staff is from Vietnamese. It's okay. We have to accept the reality. But my mother sometimes has made a little complaints against the condition, where she said she sometimes is having difficulty in communicating with them, and she looks like a little bit unhappy with the condition. And again, I'm not blaming the condition and the situation where my mother has to stay with all Vietnamese staff. So it happens all the time, and we have to understand, and we have to appreciate the people from foreign countries working here in Japan. But my brother seems to have a little complaint against the condition being changed 5 years ago, because he trusted the manager, and he liked the all staffers when he made a decision. So after all research of other other nursing homes, so he decided the one. And actually we paid a big money investment. So initial payment was like 16 million Japanese yen, equals $103,000. This is the initial. And the monthly payment was and has been still not changed, I think, 200k Japanese yen. So equals to 1,290 US dollar. So every month, despite there have been big change of the condition, all Japanese staff left, and now all the Vietnamese staffers are working instead of Japanese staffers. And again, please understand that I'm not blaming the condition and the situation, and I'm not totally at all complaining against the people from Vietnamese. So we have to appreciate that. But this is one of the big contradiction, because so we have seen so many negative news, information, articles explaining that how difficult, how hard it is for people to work at nursing home and caretaker businesses. So many actually Japanese people, Japanese workers, caretakers leave their jobs. The first of all, because of the low payment, the lowest payment. And you need to be strong both mentally and physically, of course. It requires a lot of physical work, and you have to be very strong and mentally, and you have to be very strong mentally. It is very hard work. Despite this condition, actually the paycheck in nursing home, the paycheck in caretaker businesses, caretakers, are much less than the average all industries paycheck income. So income level of the caretakers are much lower than the average. So that's why many Japanese staffers, many Japanese people who are working at care businesses actually leave their jobs after 3 years or 5 years. And now, actually, we have seen so many negative news explaining that Japan has been facing a big problem in the labor shortage in caretaker businesses. But I'm not sure if you are familiar with our biggest social problem is that the population is aging. Japanese population is aging, and a declining population has become one of the biggest social issue. And on the other hand, we have, at the same time, we have the biggest negative social problem, that is, declining birth rate. So meaning people are aging, and become older and older. Japanese people are older and older. So the average life, I don't know how to say it. So we are living life longer life. So the average lifelong has been 83 years for female Japanese people, and 78 and male Japanese. So, and then birth rate has been like below 1.3 or 4 point. And the last year, the birth rate hit the lowest level. And this year, so far, so many experts predict that 2013 will be the lowest record again in terms of the birth rate. So people are aging, the society is aging. And then, like explained, we need more and more people who are working at caretakers, care businesses. However, due to the paycheck, the lowest income level, the many Japanese people don't want to work in the industry. So just 3 years or 5 years working, many people actually leave the industry. This is the reality. And then, like explained, the reality. So many maybe nursing houses in Japan have to depend on the foreign workers, especially from people from Vietnamese. So this is the reality. And I'm not talking about the nursing houses in the local city and the countryside, because my mother's nursing home is located in Saitama Prefecture. Saitama Prefecture is next to Tokyo, and one of the, I think, top 10 biggest city prefecture in Japan, and so many people are living, and it's really convenient for all office workers who are working in Tokyo City. So many people actually buy their houses in Saitama Prefecture. And my brother actually has his house in Saitama Prefecture. That's why he decided to put our mother in a nursing home in Saitama Prefecture. Actually, their house is very near, just 5 minutes by walk. So, and in Saitama Prefecture, a nursing home is now facing the critical shortage of staffs and shortage of workforce. So they have to rely on the people from Vietnamese people. But this is another contradiction. So due to the weak Japanese yen, now we have seen another negative news explaining the latest situation of foreign workers from Vietnam actually leave their current job in Japan. So, and then actually they have special visa allowing them to work here. But you have to stay the care businesses if you want to stay in Japan, if you want to keep working here in Japan. You cannot change the job with this special visa allowance. So if you are not a permanent visa, if you are working visa, I think it will expire within 5 years, and you have to extend another 5 years. But you have to stay into the industry. So meaning, if you come to Japan, if you Vietnamese people come to Japan for the job of the nursing home or caretakers businesses, they have to stay into the care businesses. However, we have seen many negative news that due to the weak Japanese yen, they actually leave without notification. So they run away, and they have gone to nowhere and anywhere without noticing. So they give up the special visa. They just run away. And then maybe we can imagine some of them may have gone home. I don't know how to do that because without the special visa, I'm not sure if they can go back to their hometown with their passport. So, but not sure. But this is the reality, and we also have seen so many negative news explaining the reality of the weak Japanese yen. Many foreign tourists from Vietnam say many things, including meals, the restaurants, are cheaper here in Japan than Vietnam. So this is the weak Japanese yen situation. So this is the big contradiction we are facing now, because due to the unpopularity of nursing caretaker businesses, we have to rely heavily on the foreign workers, especially from Vietnamese. However, it maybe in the past, when Japanese yen was much stronger than what it is now today, maybe working in Japan used to be very popular for foreigners, especially from Asian countries, other Asian countries, including Vietnam. It used to be. However, now, because of the weaker Japanese yen, the condition, the mind, the idea has become totally reverse, and vice versa, totally opposite. So maybe working in Vietnam, they will be able to make much more money in Vietnam than Japan. So this is the reality. So how can we survive, and how can nursing homes, not only I think nursing homes, but also many industries, what we call essential workers, for example, nursing homes and hospitals, and maybe construction workers. So you may be surprised to see the reality that here in Japan, many construct workers at constructing sites are replaced by foreign workers. And in this case, I have seen so many people from maybe South America, and also I have seen so many black people in the construction sites. So we can imagine that the same things must be happening not only in the the caretaker businesses, but also the construction side and who are working at the construction businesses. So essential workers, we are critical. Japan is now facing the really critical situation in which we are facing the lack of labor force of workers in the nursing home, hospitals, construction workers. And then, what happened on Japanese people is that many companies are now starting big layoffs because of their change of the environment and the change of their, how to make the money for many big companies. So actually, we have never ever seen such a dynamic shift of how people, will have to work, and how we have to raise our productivity. So, and then I think, as you can imagine, AI is now stealing our jobs. So, and then because of the AI and the change of the mind, all the styles of Japanese people now recently changed to their US style, lay off and more productivity. Many companies actually are having big layoffs. So meaning people are going to suffering from finding new jobs. And then most of us don't want to work in the industry, in caretakers, construction workers, hospitals, what we call essential workers. So this is the biggest gap between supply and demand. So demand is big in the essential workers. However, Japanese people don't want to work at lowest income level industries, and hardworking, requires hard work in both in mentally and physically. And we have to rely on people from foreign countries. However, due to the weak Japanese yen, fewer foreign workers want to come to Japan to work here. So, totally contradiction. This is one of the, I don't know how to tackle with this contradiction. Maybe the best solution for us is that we Japanese people have to work in the caretaker businesses, because and it is happening now. It is happening now in 2024, and then future is really ugly, because our aging problem will be worse and worse. The future is worse. Our future is the condition of the caretaker business, essential workers. We will need more and more people who must work as caretakers. So the best solution for us is that many people maybe have to give up their current job. If you are targeted by one of the layoff people, you need to work at industry. You need to work in the caretaker businesses and construction workers. So life is so complicated here in Japan.